Okay, so I'm doing a resin pour this morning on this oval canvas. Resin is always fun. You got to start for 2 minutes. Rather than turn that camera on and off and risk getting resin on my phone, which is remotely controlling the camera, you can just fast forward through me if you want, but I got to stir this about 2 minutes or until it gets clear. So we got a while to go. So let me tell you something about resin. It's a two-part process. You put one part of, comes in a, I bought the gallon size because I do a lot of resining, so you put one part, equal parts, and then you combine them and then stir. One's the resin, one's the hardener, and you've got to use both. It's pretty simple to mix. I mean, it's not a complicated thing to do. And then you pour it on the canvas, which I've got this cookie sheet underneath, and then a bed protector underneath here for the dripping over. And then I have construction paper under that, so this surface is pretty well protected. And that's important to protect your surface, because the resin will harden like glass. And if you don't want it spilling over on your rug or your floor, I'm on a cement floor right now, but I still don't want it spilling over. It's important to protect the area. So this is pretty clear now. I'm just going to stir it a little bit longer, and then you have to have something to spread it out with. I'm going to use a spongy stick. You can use a brush, but I find the spongy stick is a really good tool, and then you can just toss it. You can't reuse it because this stuff will get hardened. Like I said, it'll harden like a rock. Okay, so I think we're ready, and I'm going to pour it on. I'm going to pour it on in the middle, and then for a small canvas like this, and then spread it out to the sides. I want every little bit of that, so I'm going to use the stick to pour. You say, well, how much did I make? I made about 8 ounces, 4 and 4 of each combination of the resin and the hardener. I'm getting all that good stuff. And then I'll use a torch to burn it, to burn any bubbles, not burn the canvas, not burn the paint, burn the bubbles out. The little propane or butane torch does a great job doing that. And you've got, I would say, about 8 minutes to work with this stuff. After that, it starts hardening, and I think this one's going to harden quick. Just from the way I was stirring, it looks like it's going to harden really quick. So I'm going to begin right away, from the middle out to the edges. I hope I made enough stuff. Last time I made too much, so I cut it back a little bit. So spread it out from the middle. In some canvases, you have to put something underneath the canvas in the middle so that the weight of this doesn't make it all sink and stay in the middle. But I'm going to do a good job of spreading it out to the edge and letting it come over the edge. And I think this is a good amount of stuff. Yeah, I think this is a good amount. So it was a total of about, oh, I don't know what that cup is. Might have been less than 8 ounces. I'll show you the little cups I had made the two combinations in. Okay, it's hardening already, I think. That's pretty fast. Make sure you get it over to the edge. And this will leave a glass-like, hard as a rock finish on this. and I love it on this kind of a painting. I'm trying to make sure by looking sideways that all the edges, because it's notorious, this stuff, for leaving some of the edges undone. And you'll have to wrap it around the sides too. So plenty was in the middle. I'm going to spread it out to the sides, go around the sides one more time. This was plenty of resin for this piece. Plenty. I just want to make sure I've got it. Okay. So, for some of you wondering how you resin a piece, yep, and that's why you charge extra, because it's a little extra work. And the resin is expensive too. It's not cheap stuff. But it is so worth it if people like a really high gloss. It's getting hard, so I'm going to have to stop working like that. You could tell it won't flow like honey anymore. It'll start feeling like you're dragging too much through it. So now I'm going to go around the edges. Make sure my edges are done. Also, now this will be dripping for 24 hours. It'll stick a little to the cookie sheet, but it should come up easily. Well, it should come up pretty easily. But that's why I use a cookie sheet, because I don't want it sticking on cups or anything else you might want to think you're going to let this thing cure overnight on. So the least contact it has on the sides with anything, the better. So beware of that. And tomorrow I'll take some pictures, and you want to try to catch some of the drips on the bottom here. This is a pretty good amount. It's not dripping excessively off the edge. It's good to have your table level, otherwise it'll drip off one side more than another. So I have used one of those little things that tells you, a leveler, I guess that's the call it. Okay, so I'm going to get the burner. I'm not going to turn the thing off because, well, I could, I guess, for a second. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to let it keep running and be right back. Okay, so we're ready. I should have had this right on the table, but I was so eager to get this going. If I see any edges like this, little holes still there, spaces that this didn't cover, this is doing a nice job breaking any bubbles. The Bunsen burner, just a little kitchen burner, that's all it is, kitchen tool. Okay, so let me take a look at the size. I see little spaces here. So I'm going to put new gloves on. Don't want to turn. Okay, so we have resined the piece, and for a few moments I have taken this brush and every once in a while come over the edges. You can only do that a very short amount of time, because otherwise it's already starting to harden. By tomorrow it should be a hard-like finish. And I'll show you the little cups that I worked with. Had to change the battery. Be right back. You can fast forward. I don't want to pause this thing. Oh, this is a good video to pause on. So I use these two little cups. One part of resin in here, one part of hardener here, and then combine them both in a cup. This cup here, stir, and you're ready to go. That's it. Good luck resining. You'll need it. You'll need all the help you can get. Okay, that's it for now. Okay, so I'm going to just come in on this a little bit. Sorry about that light. So it's been resined, and whoops, sorry about that. I'm doing it on the stand rather than taking the camera off. And that's the cookie sheet it went on. That's the brush it was put on with. Let me pull it back just a little. Okay, that's better. So I'll show you how this looks tomorrow. It should be a very, very high resin gloss finish tomorrow. It's a beautiful oval piece, 16 by 20. Email Preacher LD if you're interested. Thanks. Have a great day.